Galatians 5:13 says, serve one another humbly in love. Hi, I'm Bobby, the pastor of Lighthouse Church and Online Ministry. And in today's video, we are going to continue our series in the Sermon on the Mount. And again, we are looking at the Sermon on the Mount because Jesus teaches us how to truly be a follower of Christ, how to truly serve Jesus as his disciple. And in the Sermon on the Mount, as he's telling us, teaching us how to serve him, he's also showing the Jewish leaders of his time, the religious leaders of his time, the hypocrisy of what they have been doing. And so he's really trying to teach the Jewish leaders basically what they've been doing is wrong, while also showing them that, this is how you follow me. This is what you need to do to truly follow me and stop being legalistic. Because so many times, we as believers, we tend to become legalistic. We tend to think more about our actions rather than our heart. And Jesus is trying to teach us in Sermon on the Mount that the two are not separate. Following Christ, not sinning, serving others is a heart issue, not just an action. And so Jesus is trying to teach and show his followers that, the things you do is your heart matters as well. The first section of Matthew is all about how Christians should act, talking about the Beatitudes, talking about, being the salt and light of the earth, talking about how Christ didn't come to ruin the law, but to fulfill the law. And then he starts talking about how, you have said, or you have heard it said in the Old Testament that, you shouldn't murder or you shouldn't commit adultery. And then Jesus says, but this is what it truly means. Even if you hate your brother in your heart, even if you look at a woman lustfully, those are considered sins as well. And now where we're at, where we are beginning in chapter 6 of Matthew, Jesus starts talking about, are you doing things in the right motive? So let's read Matthew 6, 1-4. And it says, beware practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites in the synagogues and in the streets, that they do that so they may be praised. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be done in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. So like I said, Jesus opens this section of the Sermon on Mount with kind of a awkward yet hard-hitting theme. And what that theme is what is your motive in doing? What is your motive in giving? Are you giving out of the goodness of your heart? Are you giving out of serving people? Are you giving so that you can bring people closer to Christ? Or are you giving so that you can be seen as the nice guy? Are you giving so you can get credit for this thing? Think about it this way. So many times in modern day, you will see YouTubers or celebrities do these acts of charity in front of a camera so that they can get all this glory. And Jesus is telling us in this section that is wrong. We need to beware practicing our righteousness for the right reason. Are we giving to the needy because we truly want to see them succeed, truly want to give to them? Or are we giving to the needy so that we can play trumpets in the streets and show people how good we truly are? And I think this is something, especially for us in this modern age, that is really easy to get caught up on. I mean, we can all start doing something out of the goodness of our heart. And then as quick as a snap, we can easily fall into this trap where, man, people are praising me because of my good deeds. And Jesus tells us, if you find comfort in that, then that is your reward. But if you do it out of the kindness in your heart, if you give to the needy without, letting your right know what your left is doing, or your left doing what your right is doing, then God will see this and God will reward you. Now, we don't know what this rewarding is, but more importantly than that, God will use that act to bring people closer to Himself. And if God uses an act that we are doing to bring people closer to Himself, to bring people into salvation, that should be reward in itself. And so I just want to encourage you, be careful of what you are doing. Be careful that you are not doing things out of just trying to get credit for it, like the YouTubers or celebrities of this day and age. We need to make sure we are doing things out of the goodness of our heart. And then more importantly, we are doing it so that we can bring people closer to themselves. I'm going to read this passage again. Matthew 6:1 says, beware of practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be done in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. So I want to leave you with this. What is your motive? And we're going to look more about this in the later sections as well. But Jesus wants us to give because we truly love and want to serve people, not because we want to get credit from people, not because we want people to see how righteous we are. But Jesus wants us to do it through love and the goodness in our heart. Thank you.